House of Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. I'm proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. This is More Than Just a Podcast. Season 11, episode 30, I think. And the old gang from last week are back in town. No Daddy Bucci. He's got an anniversary romantic meal tonight. He's back. He's back.
30 years today.
30 years. I remember. I was there. You weren't.
Well, I was.
Well,
but
you
I
were,
wasn't born.
but that's another story.
Yeah.
You weren't alive for that. Well, you were alive, but anyway, we won't go down there. I've got video. Anyway, we've had two games. It's been a mixed week. But let's start with the Champions of Europe. What a great game it was. And look, I know Len's going to say, no, but it was a night to remember. It possibly was the best night at the London Stadium, if not one of them. And the place was rocking. And we're going to start with George, who was there.
There's a surprise.
There we go, George. You were there.
I was
right
there.
Along the row behind me, swearing at me occasionally, which was
Pretty
nice.
non-stop. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I
What
was
did you
quite
think?
drunk.
What was your experience back at the stadium?
So I had a brilliant afternoon. I had the afternoon off, and
yeah.
we went into London
St.
and
Patrick's Day,
sampled
you got
some.
Or was it St. George's Day? One of the
some
two.
Guinness for St. Patrick's Day. Experience-wise, I think it was obviously fantastic and made a lot better because we won.
Yeah.
I walked away missing going to watch West Ham at the London Stadium, but when I had to get my train home and then missed my last train because it went to extra time and
hang on, that would have been the same
jazz.
at Upton Park, though, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, quite.
You managed it. You got back to
I got
Guildford,
home, yeah.
and
I'm here.
Thanks to Uber.
But game-wise, it was obviously a massive occasion. You said it was one of the best nights there. I think you can't argue that any other night there has been better.
Well, we were talking on the way home about the Chelsea game, which was the cup game.
The Chelsea game was all right compared to that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a bit.
You knew it was
level
going
above.
to be the best game there.
Yeah.
It stands to reason.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it would have done if we'd have got beat 2-0, Len.
Well, only in hindsight, but it would have been the sort of best participated game there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Has to be, didn't it?
Oh, I agree.
It was a great light show as well.
Oh, I didn't see much
fuck
of that
off.
show. So I was queuing for a wee. But yeah.
Hold up, sorry, Sean, can I just pick him up? Because I just did that. That was a pile of shit, Sean.
What,
light
light
show?
show? Was it?
As you were, George. It was.
Why?
What about that
Pile of
silly
shit.
bollocks DJ as well?
I
What's
know.
the point
Geezer
in that?
I tell you what, I've had more fun standing in my hallway flicking the lights on and off than that fucking poxy light show.
Bunch of grumpy old men.
No,
you're
listen.
turning
No, look, it's just proved how useless it is. You brought the atmosphere and the good times there.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with a fucking night show or DJ. This is what I say to them blue in the face. They've fucking got a clue. Make it good for the fans. Make it like the fans want to come. Get the fans to enjoy themselves. And look at the fun you have. Don't fucking matter about the stadium.
And can someone tell me why they had to hold carrier bags up? What the carrier bags?
That's what I could see on TV. It's
What
for
the
everyone
fuck?
else's benefit.
Carrier bags. They're not even fucking placards. They were fucking carrier bags.
All that plastic, you'd have been better off with fucking cardboard. This would have recycled.
Don't worry, some fucking chump's probably going to tie himself to a fucking goalpost next home game, demanding the end of West Ham's carrier bag signs.
Have you finished? Let's talk
Change
about the
yourself-
greatest
change
night
yourself
ever
to
at the
the goal.
London Stadium. Let's talk about the greatest night ever at the London Stadium. As you were, George, carry on before the grumbling.
I can't remember where I was, but yeah, it was.
Well, let's
it
talk
was,
about the
Shit
game.
light show.
Yeah, we moved on from the light show. Jesus Christ.
What do you think
yeah, it
of
was
the
alright,
game,
wasn't
George?
it? Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Do you remember? We won, by the way. 2-0.
I do remember. Yeah.
I'm surprised he did after a state he was in when I
He
saw him
wa- he
before
was in a bit.
kick-off.
Oh, shut up! Wasn't it bad? Yeah, no, it was brilliant. The goal fairly early on, obviously in the first half, kind of really spurred things on, didn't it? If they'd have held it to 0-0 for till half time, it probably would
I
have
don't-
killed the
I
atmosphere a
don't know.
bit.
They just didn't seem to. They weren't taking it a bit like us. They weren't taking their chances, and as the game went on, and our goal seemed to kill them. I know we scored it late on. Was it 70 minutes? But I mean, they played to lose when it got to extra time. Unless that's the way I saw it, anyway.
Right.
Did you see it that way, George?
I think he just dropped off.
Oh,
Mine did that earlier.
did it?
Yeah.
Oh, we
Let's
had
come
this
back.
last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to Nigel, who was also there. Sorry, Len, leaving you watching.
You always leave me to the last.
Well, only
Doesn't matter. I've got the skills to pay the fucking bills. I could, just out-chat you with anything, Sean.
Yeah, I know.
Don't have to tee me up.
Anyway, George is back. George.
I'm here. Sorry,
Yeah.
connection went.
So, 70 minutes before we scored, but after that, their heads went down. In extra time, I didn't think they really looked like they were going to win it.
70 minutes before we scored.
What was the first goal?
39.
Was it 39?
Yeah.
First
really
half.
paying attention.
You had a good night, didn't you?
Yeah, I
What
did
are you
have
on
a good night.
about?
I wasn't drinking.
70 minutes. We scored in the first half, remember? Remember that? Suchek scored a header?
Oh yeah, I do now. Thanks for reminding me.
Right up his end.
Yeah, right in front of him.
Yeah,
What?
good header. Good with a bandage
Was.
on, wasn't it?
Could you see it from up the top in your row 71 seat, Sean?
Well, I
Yes.
think, yeah,
Yes,
I
you
think there
could.
was, yeah, there was,
Oh, you-
there was a mix-up in the tickets.
Yes, you
Oh, was
could.
there?
Move on.
Oh, right.
Yeah, don't worry, George. I don't want to listen to this podcast.
I'm not worried. It's just don't want to ruin it for next time.
All right, yeah, don't worry. The stewards don't listen to this podcast.
We let you through, George. It's the stooge we don't like. Jump in the queue.
I'm sure I was up there with you. So anyway, move
I
on.
didn't see you. I did look.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, just on what you said, it didn't look like they got going. I agree. There was a little period, I think it was in the first half, when Ariona made that save. That was kind of the turning
Yeah.
point where I thought we're going to
It
do
was.
this.
Yeah, that was a
Um,
turning point. I agree.
And I think that kind of killed them a little bit, and then obviously the goal properly killed them off.
Okay.
They didn't really threaten much. I don't remember being particularly worried about them after that. I did worry that our lack of converting chances were going to end up with that going to penalties, and I was telling you all around me
Yeah.
that this was going to penalties.
And
but-
yet again, as soon as I saw Yarmolenko warming up, I said, he's going to score. He's going to make... Did you have that same conversation? Well,
Oh,
you saw me there. I tried to get a bet on, and guess what? No internet connection again. So I couldn't get a bet
Letting
on.
you down, Sean, aren't they?
Got a bet on yesterday for Spurs, though, because I got a connection there.
Well,
The
that's why it
bugger
didn't
didn't
happen then.
score. No. Right. Anything else from your night of wonder? And there was a big smile on your face. We were.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It was
I
emotional.
loved it.
It was emotional,
yeah.
wasn't it?
I'm not going to deny. I absolutely loved it, and I think not going every week and it becoming a chore makes it into a better
Yeah.
experience on the odd occasion. Now, I know I'm talking to the wrong people saying that, but
You're not to me. You're not. I
No.
understand that. I completely agree with you. I don't think it's a regular stadium. I think it's an occasional stadium.
yeah.
I think if you go once in a while, you enjoy it. Fucking
but
go
yeah,
that shit out every week though.
Oh, here we
Fucking hell.
go. Here we
If
go.
I get it, and having now done it on the other side, that is truly how it felt. So it was good. I went to the supporters club for the first time. They tried to stop me from going back upstairs after sending me down to get a Guinness. Wasn't best
Oh,
pleased
it's
with
a
that.
pain as well, isn't it?
Wasn't
So
best
much
pleased.
to moan about, isn't there, George? Really.
Yeah. Not that I usually needed lots to moan about to have a good moan, but yeah, that wasn't the best experience in there. But other than that,
You should join the committee because you love a committee.
I tell you, there's not enough committees. We should have another one.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Nigel. One of the best nights of your life, Nigel. Yeah.
Nope.
Marrying Sam. Birth of your children.
Well, I married her in the afternoon. So.
All right. Best days of your life then.
No, not
Where does
at
it
all.
rank? Home games. Where does it come?
Where does it rank in home games? I mean, at the London Stadium,
Yeah.
I suppose it's probably the best experience there. But then again, no disrespect, we ain't had a lot of other things like that, really, have we?
Well,
To
half a dozen, you know.
half a dozen,
Half a
dozen in nearly 6 years.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Half a dozen. One a
it's not-
year.
it's not, yeah, it's not hard to go, you know, that is the best night there in that stadium. So you know, and it would be pretty stupid of me to say otherwise, realistically. I think, do you know, the funny thing is that the fact that there was actually 60,000 in the crowd possibly helped.
Yeah, that did cause some extra
You know,
problems with
So if
queues and everything else.
yeah,
didn't
but
it?
this is the thing, you know, the club want it to be 66,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's just going to make the queues worse, isn't it? So, and you know, it goes back, and it's just cannon fodder for people like me, who pointed out all the problems years ago that would happen with this, and all the crap that they come out with. But you know, we're not going to, you know, drag that out. We'll save
I
that for
don't
another
mind.
night. Well, no, neither do I. But you know, but you know, the funny thing about it is that there was me, Charlie, and my mate Sean, 3 season ticket holders. Even though I don't know if they're listeners, but I'd like to apologise to the people that actually sat in my seat, my season ticket seat, because for some strange reason, I bought the 2 seats next to my season ticket seat, not my season ticket seat, and they'd bought them. But I went up and went, "Oh, you're in my seat,"
Oh.
and they went, "Oh, no, you sure? Row 62." I went, "Yeah, it's my season ticket seat," and he pulled his ticket out, and it obviously he'd printed it off, and it had my seat number on. And when I looked at
Someone
obviously-
obviously used Photoshop or something.
So when I looked at my screenshot of my email ticket, I was in the seat next to my season ticket seat.
Oh.
So not a
Schoolboy
problem.
error.
Schoolboy error, but not a problem. I sat there, was happy, good view of the game. But the 3 of us were the only season ticket holders in our row.
Yeah, there was a lot of
So
a lot of tourists and a lot
Yeah.
of newbies. I mean, when I was coming
I
from Pudding Mill Lane. By the way, I did take your advice. I went to Stratford and got a
DLR.
thing back. It was better actually. So
Yeah,
thanks for
I
that.
know. You're welcome.
But as I came off Pudding Mill Lane, 2 like I don't know what they Austrians or something said, "Where do we get the shuttles?" And I said, "No, it's round the corner." He said, "Oh, in Austria we have shuttles, and in Germany we have shuttles." And I said, "No, it's less than a mile away." He went, "We still have shuttles." I said, "Well, there's no shuttles." So they walked with me, and we got up to the security, and I
That's
said,
so
"Well,
cute.
you're not allowed this, you're not allowed that." Anyway, they got searched and they got pulled over because they had some items on them. I don't know, fireworks, knives, guns, who knows, with Austrians, but they didn't get past security.
Was one of them a
Apologies to
painter?
No, I don't think he was.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to say it was Hitler, were you?
I did. No, why have you brought that up?
Well, because I know he's an Austrian painter.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyhow, Let's talk about the game, Nigel.
Yeah, why not? Look, it was it would have been a complete performance if we'd have done it before extra time, but the fact that Seville were limited to just the one chance by Areola, and obviously that save probably did keep us in the tie, without doubt. If that goes in, I think it would have been good night, Seville, Vienna.
Yeah, what a save!
Kind of
What a
oh,
save.
it was a fantastic save, because you don't realise how hard it is. You go in one way and the ball's hit back across you. To turn, put your hand up. It's instinctive.
Spoken like a true goalkeeper, Nigel.
Spoken as someone that's pulled that save off quite a few times.
But made a far bigger thud when he landed.
Well, possibly, yeah. But yes, they were like my favourite saves to make. But the funny thing about it is, it's so instinctive. You don't realise you do it until you've done it. So it's not like you plan to make the save. It's so quick. All you do is put your hand up and hope the ball hits it.
Ever made a save like that?
Well, I actually have made saves like that. So it was when they shot from 35 yards. My manager used to panic as it went in the top corner, and I was grasping for air, well, laying on the back like a turtle.
Bit lighter then, I would imagine, as well.
I was a bit lighter back then,
Yeah.
only a little bit. I'm not far off my fighting weight. But so I mean, as a complete all-round performance, and not to in a way big it up, but and this is the thing where I look at it and afterwards you think, well, I do believe we can make the final. Even looking at the route, I think we can over 2 legs, even though Barcelona, seeing them beat Real Madrid 4-0 on the weekend, and you think, you bastards, now you find your frigging form, innit? So, and we've got the hard route, innit? We couldn't have got a harder route to the final than Lyon.
Yeah, I don't think the draw could have been worse. And we're at home first legs twice.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the cups this year. But we have not had the luck of the draw. The only one, the luck of the draw, I'd say we got would have been the Southampton draw, and we ended up losing that. So that's typical West Ham.
Yeah.
I mean, we've faced Man United, Man City in the cup, innit? We've faced Leeds in the cup, Southampton. We've had no lower teams. Then in Europe, I think we've had 3 teams Champions League or 2 teams that were in the Champions League this season, in Zagreb and in Sevilla, and we've beaten both.
Look, we beat the favourites. We beat the 6-time. Let's revel in what we did. We beat the favourites. We beat the 6-time champions. Everyone thought when we drew them, we got the hardest draw. We feared Seville more than we feared Barcelona at the time. Let's
but if you look where Seville are in the league, no, that's what I'm saying, and seeing that actually gives me belief that, do you know what, we can get to the final. We can actually win this tournament.
Last time we were in a quarter-final, European quarter-final,
1981.
Yeah.
March 81.
Last time we were in a semi-final.
1975.
Yeah.
76. Sorry.
Last time we were in a final.
Oh, what semi-final of what though?
Well,
semi-final of the FA Cup, 2006.
No, European.
Oh, 1976.
Yeah. Long time.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I remember we won the FA Cup in 75, the only thing I can remember about 76 is the final. So I was...
Yeah, I was trying to explain to Finley, my son, the Cup Winners' Cup, and he went, well, what about the Champions League? There was no Champions League. What do you mean there was no Champions League?
Well, it was called European Cup.
European Cup, and
and
Champions
he said, well, how about Europa League? No, there was no Europa League at the time.
Well, it was called UEFA Cup. It's the same cup, Sean.
Could you stream it? I said, no, there's no streaming.
Fucking hell, what a son you fucking got. He does history of school, doesn't he?
You've educated him well, Sean. I'll give you
fucking
credit.
hell.
He likes to watch all games. I said, well, you didn't. You either went to see it or you didn't see it at all.
Well, no, you had midweek sports special.
Yeah.
Match of the day. And what was the ITV
Sports
one
night. Midweek sports special.
Was it?
Yeah.
BBC was Sports Night.
Sports night.
There's Lionel
Harry
usually.
Carpenter.
Oh yeah, Harry Carpenter.
Harry
yeah,
Carpenter.
as well. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the game. Let me give you a little stat attack. West Ham had 90. Oh, sorry, possession. We had 44%, meaning they had 56. We had 19 shots, 8 on target. Wow. They had 14 shots, 2 on target. We had 10 corners. They only had 2. We fouled 15 times. They fouled 7 times. So
Excellent.
they had 706 passes, George. We only had 545, and we had an 82% pass accuracy. They only had 85. There you go. I bet you were going, oh, I really want to know.
Yeah, how many passes did we have?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
really good stat. Thanks. for that.
Well, that's okay.
Who made the most passes for us?
Probably Declan Rice.
Probably. I thought you stat man.
Yeah, it's a
I
stat
haven't got
attack.
that.
I'm
Well,
the
it's like that
stat man.
Stat man.
Stat man Sean, SMS.
Bee-ba-ba-ba-da-boop.
Best we could hope for, isn't it? You know, Antonio started and a great game. Benny started. Fornal started. Lanzini started. You know, it was probably the strongest team we could put out there, really.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Even though I did upset someone on Twitter. I
Oh,
must admit.
really? That's a
Yeah.
surprise.
It's not like you.
I know, published all through
Or
as
did
well.
you say you were going to meet at a certain time and then met 15 minutes later?
No,
Wasn't one of
no.
my customers, was it?
I don't know. He turned round. He's wrote a book, A Great Escape, which weren't a bad book. I've had a flip through it, and then he's writing another book, and he tweeted out about should he finish his new book with last night, like with the Sevilla game.
What's it
Should he-
about?
Well,
no,
I think it's about
only around.
30 years of ups and downs of West Ham. So I'd imagine that's only how long he's been going. To which point I said, well, if you have to ask, you don't know.
Yeah.
To which point he then thought I was being a troll, rude and aggressive. Oh no, he then turned round and said something about, well, I've wrote a book, tell me something about West Ham I don't know.
Oh.
Now, I would gather
I said that
that
the wrong fucking bloke.
well,
didn't
this is the thing, because I'm guessing, and obviously people interact with me, and they don't know, they just know me from Twitter, and that's fine. I don't have a problem. But when I said Twitter only gives me 250 characters, I don't think that's enough. He then took that as being quite offensive, and said it.
Someone taking you to be offensive.
I know.
I don't know.
And
how
I don't think he understood that actually. And then when he pointed that out, I said, I wasn't being offensive. That's a fact. It sort of went a bit. And then a few people chipped in and someone said to me about, well, you ain't ever wrote a book. And then I sort of got a bit egotistical and I went, no, you're right. But then again, I did write for West Ham Till I Die, Overland and Sea. I've had articles published on West Ham's website. And I'm now running my own website. But I've never wrote a book. Yet. As I said.
Just
what
to go
book
back
was
to
it
your
then?
I think it's called The Great Escape.
Just-
Not a bad book. It was about the Tevez season, to be fair to the bloke.
You don't finish there. Just to make your point, I was crowing about it on the next day, and my boss, so I was a senior leadership team, we jumped on the call, and I had my background of the 2-0 and everything. I'm really happy, and he went,
That's a bit unprofessional, isn't
you
it?
do know you still haven't won anything. And that brought me down to earth. I went, yep, he's right. We still haven't won
Well,
anything.
this is
No,
true.
and this is what I sort of was trying to intimate to the bloke
Yeah.
when he was like, do I finish the book there?
No.
Well,
We haven't won anything.
And-
you know,
and
we've
this-
got to a quarter final. We still haven't won anything. Yeah,
if
we
we
beat
get
the
knocked out
favourites.
in the quarter
It was all
final,
for nothing.
well, no, it wasn't
it's
all
not
for
all for
nothing because it
nothing,
gave
but
us a
it's-
great night, Sean.
It
Yeah.
gave us a lot
It's
more
not-
cash. It was a good financial.
But it ain't about money, shot, and this is the thing. It ain't about the cash the club earn. It gave us a fantastic night and a team we can be proud of. That's what it
And a
gave
great
us
light
more
show.
than anything. Yeah, but if we do get knocked out by Leon, you know, the boys of '76 went further.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. We've won nothing yet. We're going to move on to Len.
Yeah.
Len,
Yeah.
was it good? Did you read, first of all, and I know the answer to this, but
You're
I'm
going
going
to ask it again, aren't you? You know the
Do
answer.
you
No.
regret not going?
No.
With hindsight. Really?
No, I'm not that type. I know all these people say, "Oh, you got to be there once in a lifetime." I'm just not like that.
You didn't
I'm
regret
not.
it? Not after seeing
Nah.
the scenes and
I'm a
singing
Gen Xer,
Sweet
I ain't a millennial.
Chariot
No,
and
fuck off, Sweet
twisting and
Caroline
shouting.
to
You're
me.
going, oh, I wish I was there twisting and shouting. And
No, the problem is they do the twist
Sweet
and shout every time we bleed and win.
yeah, they do. That's true.
So I mean, I haven't really missed out on anything. The fact of the matter is, Sean, like we just alluded to, the result was all that mattered because it's a knockout competition, and it was a great night, and you knew it was going to be a great night.
You did
but,
say that. To be fair, you're going to go. Yeah,
yeah.
well. So you're going to go to Leon, and you're going to break the habit because at the moment you've not
I
been
don't
to
know.
any of him. You've
I
only
don't
got
know.
till tomorrow to snag your ticket. They're selling fast, mate. They're selling fast. All I can.
I don't
tell
like stopping painting to do stuff like that. You see, I have to make a decision. It's it's just not.
Well, you could make.
It's not
decisions,
me
you can always
anymore.
flog it afterwards.
Not bad to do, I think.
But then again, if it's the first leg, nothing's going to be concluded anyway. So
Yeah.
football's
Well-
a funny old game.
Well,
as
funny
someone
enough,
said.
quick story, true
Go on.
story. George can't go because he's in Barcelona, so he was really hoping that we pull out Barcelona. And the schoolboy era, I'm in Dublin that time as well.
Me and you then, Nigel. Actually, might go now then.
Well, you got to get your ticket tonight
Oh.
because it ends because it's open house tomorrow from 11 o'clock.
Everything's such a rush. I was trying to
know.
explain to the missus, right? We was having something to eat, and she couldn't
Well,
explain.
after why it was a rush.
No, like
Oh, right.
why I wasn't going when I got a season ticket. I said, well, it doesn't include that. So why is it a season ticket? I said, it used to be like that. No, it's not. Well, why? Because, well, and in the end, the answer always comes down to football is just about money, really.
Yeah. I mean, you
So
used to
that was
get free cup games. Well, not free, but 1, 2, 3. Free cup games with your season ticket. And
Yeah.
and you think a lot of times we never had free cup
I
games.
was
at
going to
home.
say.
Yeah, so
That's
you
real value
used to
for money,
feel
innit?
we were shortchanged for a start. All the years they shortchanged us. And then I remember, I think we got to the quarter-final of the League Cup, the quarter-final of the FA Cup. It was the year we lost to Arsenal in both rounds. And in the next season, I swear they ditched it down to 2. Because obviously, you was always guaranteed one cup game at home, because the second round of the League Cup used to be home and away.
When
Yeah.
did that when did that change? Because I don't remember ever having any.
Late 90s, I believe.
I was
Yeah,
about
okay.
to say around the turn of
Early
the century.
2000, yeah, it was around them. I remember we had like Huddersfield and shite teams like that, and I think that's when Marcus Stewart was playing for Huddersfield, or that idiot who went to Spurs who was a bit crap, Jordan something, I think his name was. But and Lampard, didn't he get an hat trick? I think against Walsall, I think in one of these games or something like that. So I know, like late 90s, there were definitely 2 League Cup ties. But and then I suppose I think it was around 2000 that they pulled the cup games out, and they did it in a way as,
didn't they
oh,
charge
we're
you
not
for that?
hold up, we're not putting season ticket prices up this year, but we're not giving you any free cup games anymore. And I used to think, but I used to go to them games.
Were they ever free? A bit like, don't Arsenal, Chelsea, people like that, Spurs, include it in the season ticket? The first 3 cup games are now part of their package.
Was
Yeah,
it?
No,
like that.
not they
I
used
don't
to.
think-
They
I don't think they
they
was.
do.
They stopped that
Arsenal.
now.
I don't know.
Arsenal
Chelsea
definitely
certainly
did.
don't.
Yeah. Then again, they've only got 28,000 seats to get older. That was a
don't
bit
have
of an
any of
eye
them,
opener, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, they're the only people who can go anymore.
Anyway, I felt
What are they going to
rotten
do with the
that night anyway.
semi-final?
Let's
Oh.
go back to the football. What did you think? Line up right? Did he get his tactics right, Moyes, Len?
Well, consequently,
Yeah.
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 Really, we won. But
Stupid question of the week.
I was
He was completely wrong.
I was very much surprised firstly how well we played. Maybe not so much how well we played. I think a lot of people got carried away with rating people's performances. We played well, but they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
And you could say they didn't turn up. And what you notice from our team is we could have gone on all night. The effort level didn't drop, and it was great.
Well,
It
there
was
was only
great
about
to watch.
900 of them, which surprised me. And probably they were mostly that lived in the UK.
Oh, what, you talking about the fans?
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about the players.
I know you were, but I'm just saying, is that all you bring away? It's...
The Spanish don't travel like that.
Do you know not?
No, and they don't have lots of, local. I mean, you ever get Spaniards in London, don't get me wrong, but they wouldn't go to sort of football games. They're just not that type.
Okay.
They don't really travel.
I thought it was a good touch them putting them up there and not down. I think that was to stop missiles coming over, but it was, it's a kind of thing that made a difference, not having them right behind the goal.
Well, when you
tucking
go to Barcelona, that's what you're getting.
Yeah, so I think that's right, to tuck them up in the upper tier.
I've just give us a win against Leon. Look at me.
Yeah. Let me ask you another question.
Go on.
Obviously, you watched it from home, so you watched it a bit better than us. It appeared the ref was being a bit unkind to us.
Do you know what?
And not to them. Every time they fell over, he gave it their
Well,
way, and every
the
time
funny
we
thing
fell
ab-
over, he wouldn't give it.
That is the strange thing about it was, I know you didn't think so when you were watching at the stadium, but that ref hardly got a thing wrong.
Oh, really?
He hardly got a thing wrong, and I was really impressed with him. And obviously, you didn't see every time they replayed it, you're thinking, how the bloody hell did you see that? He got everything right.
Oh,
that
really?
ref. I
So
know.
it wasn't-
I
we
could
were
hear
just-
the
I just
reaction.
thought they were falling over, and every
No,
time.
they were fat. No,
he was
they
getting a
were.
lot
He
of
got
grief.
everything right. I was really
Right.
impressed with him.
Okay. All right. Well, onwards and upwards. Right. We won. We go on to a quarter final. All to play for. Champions League football is still available. We might have dropped down to 7th now. We're out of the top 6 in the league, but we've got Champions League football. We've got a cup run. We're out of the FA
We've got
Cup.
Champions
We've
League
got
football.
Champions League
We've got
football, haven't we?
Champions League to play for. In other words, if we win the Europa League, we get Champions League as a prize, is what I
And
mean.
we get a cup.
And we get a cup. And not a silly little Intertoto cup.
And we get glory. And
So-
and as the millennials like to say, the experience of being there or
Yeah.
seeing it.
I make Nigel right, going abroad away does become the I've got a t-shirt, I went abroad, etc. But
Is that me?
I think he's gone.
Is he?
Sure.
And I think it's great.
Wow. But there you go, people. All yous that have
no,
been
I'll
wishing.
tell you
He's back.
I'll tell you what the problem is. Right?
Oh, you're the problem.
You leant forward and the rolls of the fat of your belly got caught on the off switch on your mic.
It was
and
like
it
that.
muted you.
I'm sitting
Yeah.
on a desk in a study, and the mute switch is sitting just where the desk is.
Yeah.
And I have I've lost a stone now. Actually, in my
Can you
fingers.
stop clicking that mute button, please? Because that's very annoying.
So I've lost a stone. So leave me alone, right? I'm doing very well on my fat fuckers.
What are you
Anyway,
down to now, Sean? Are you under
17.5.
20?
I'm under 17 stone.
Well done, Sean.
Yeah. Anyway, but I don't know if that will keep
5'2", though. I mean,
when I go to New York on Wednesday and Philadelphia, I'm not sure that's going to last. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you what.
Not with all that cream cheese. What's your BMI, though? That's
Yeah.
what we really want to know.
Big, more than 30. Clinically obese.
What a load of bollocks that is. Well, to be honest, we don't need a BMI to tell us that.
Moving on. Obviously, we've dropped out the top 6. We faced Spurs. You never know what kind of Spurs are going to turn up on Sunday. But it wasn't to be. The Evening Standard, 2 days before the game, ran a story saying the tables have been turned. This is Spurs Cup final, which I did find was amusing. It meant more to them than it does to us now. And obviously we were very leggy. Let's start with you, George, in order again. Were you upset with the result? 3-1? Did it do it justice?
Well, I think it probably was a fair result. I thought we actually played pretty well, though, given the scoreline.
Yeah.
it was a weird one because obviously big dislike of Spurs and never want to lose, let alone to Spurs. But I didn't feel as annoyed or upset as I usually would.
Yeah.
Losing to Spurs. Now I think obviously Thursday's got a big part to play in that. We started really poorly. Like when they first scored their first 2 goals, I thought, oh my god, this could be embarrassing.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I thought. I almost wanted to switch off, and someone goes, no. I said, this is going to be a massacre.
But we kind of got back into it a bit and obviously scored a good goal. I thought Ben Rama had a really good game, actually. I thought it was one of the best games I've seen him have for us. Not only because he scored, but I just thought he was always showing for the ball. His delivery into the box was pretty consistent, which it usually isn't. But yeah, I mean, the second half I thought we were probably the better team for most of it, but then Kane and Son, who are clearly their best 2 players and would probably walk into most teams in the league, their quality showed through and they just kept helping each other to score. So
well,
I was upset.
I thought Zuma obviously got the first own goal, and it's hard to blame him. I thought it was a deflection off him for the second, although I see it was given to Song.
I don't know if it took a deflection off him for a second, to be fair, but I think it was probably going on target anyway, whereas the first goal, Son didn't even touch it, and it was going across the goal if Zuma hadn't touched it, so that's why that was an own goal. But then their second goal was just, classic Route 1 football and Kane.
I mean, I don't count the third goal because it was right at the end when we were pushing forward. So
no, it counts, Sean.
Well, I know
so it was only
counts,
2-1, was it?
But it was 2-1 in my mind. That
well,
it's one of those
in
things
the
where
real fucking world, it was 3-1.
Well, yeah, I know that, but when you push forward to throw everything at it because you're losing, sometimes you concede.
Oh, Leeds United must think the top of the league then, with your theory. They're going for the Champions League.
Ben Rama scored on 35 just after they went 2-0 up. Well, I say just after, 10 minutes after. Did that give you a little bit of hope that we might get back in it? I think we had 75% possession after that goal. Their heads went down a little bit.
Yeah, it did, I think, and it should have done. But wasn't to be, I guess. I think that you could tell they were a bit tired. I think they were very sluggish at the beginning because they was kind of struggling from Thursday night. But yeah, it's a disappointing result, but I'm not as upset as I
probably
usually would
nothing
be.
to see move along. Nigel, stat attack. Spurs had 53% to our 47% of possession. They had 17 shots, 4 on target. We had 6 shots, 1 on target, which obviously went in. They had 604 passes. We had 544. They had a 90% accuracy. We had 88. 7 fouls apiece. 5 corners to Spurs. 3 corners to West Ham. Should we have done better?
I'd like to think that in the start of the second half, I think we controlled the ball well. It seemed to be a tired start or disjointed. Moyes, I don't know. Who knows why he did the 3-5-2 again?
Yeah.
Because it hadn't worked in the 2 previous times he'd done it.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that sort of bothers me. I'm not going to dig him out for it. He's made the choice, and we got beat. But I just didn't see why he did it when 4-5-1, 4-3-3, however you want to dress it up, had worked so well for us. And the problem I find is when we play 3-5-2 is only having one player on the wings. Players can play round whoever's out wide. But it don't help Masuaku, unfortunately for him, gave the ball away. But then I don't think we defended well the second ball when they broke on it. Unfortunate it came off Zuma's knee to go into the first. Their first 2 goals were both deflections.
Yeah. Big
deflections as well that took it away from Fabianski. So we just didn't have the luck of the draw.
Was he right starting Masuaku?
Well, I don't have a problem with him starting Masuaku, but don't have him as a wing back. He should have played. If you're going to do that, have him as the left half of a 4-5-1.
Yeah.
And for me, that it's not so much that he played Masuaku. It's the playing of the wing back system. We ain't got the players for it. Johnson's not a wing back.
I mean, that's the other question. Put him 4 nails on the bench.
Yeah, I just,
and you know, fresh pair of legs after all the players playing, 120 minutes. Why not start Vlasic?
well, and the thing is, some people, Stelios, have got short memories when it comes to Masuaku. When we was in lockdown and Moyes was playing 3-5-2 until Masuaku got injured,
Yeah.
Masuaku did brilliantly there.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So it looked like we'd found a winning formula with Creswell tucked in as the left side of the three, and then doubling up. I think conceding early is always difficult with West Ham away from home, but where the Kings are coming back from behind, to get the goal in the first half from Ben Rama was a good finish, and then I thought we could have kicked on a bit, and we did dominate the ball more in the second half than we did in the first. But Spurs, at the end of the day, they've since they've been knocked out of Europe, they're blowing a bit hot and cold, but they're doing well with it.
Yeah.
And
Harry Kane still can't score, but he
No,
did quite
but
a lot.
the
Who
thing
wouldn't
I
have
will
Son
say,
in their
yeah.
team, to be honest.
Well,
He's
I'll tell
pretty
you what,
amazing.
right?
One
I'm
man.
sorry, yeah. I don't know. He's like Bambi, isn't he? On legs, it just falls over at the drop of a feather. I mean, the
is.
player should be embarrassed, to be honest. And the only way to stop it is for the PFA to come out and say to their members, can you stop throwing yourselves on the floor? Because what you're doing is, they're all in a union. The PFA's a union. And what you've got is union members trying to cheat other union members. Because that's what he's trying to do. Why has he dived on the floor like that? Because he's hoping someone might get a booking. Yeah, like Regulon. Yeah.
Arsehole, he's a wanker. That's what he says.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing was when he ran into the ref and dived.
Yeah, he did it again.
What was he expecting? The ref to book himself? What?
Yeah.
That was
I
funny.
did find that funny.
But the mad thing about it is the Antonio forearm smash on Dyer. Nobody saw, but he done it. So, and that's for me the mad thing about it. But I'm sorry, I think the antics of I don't know. I think now too much is made off the field about the game.
Yeah, I agree.
I gave my ticket to John Ratomski and said, sell the ticket and put the money in your kitty for your walk. We'll do the walk in a minute, in the news bit. But I said, because frankly, I can take or leave that game now. And
I've retired from that game.
Yeah, I think there's idiots on all sides. And all this, it's their cup final bollocks. Yeah, well, we made... all right, so I mainly follow West Ham fans on Twitter. But all I kept seeing was, their cup final, their cup final. Well, if it was their cup final, why the fuck are you going on about it? If you're not bothered, why are you going on about it? Because if it ain't our cup final, and it is just another game, you wouldn't keep on about it. And, all this silly crap point scoring and cup final bollocks, it just now is like it's took a bit of an edge off of what used to be a great game to go to.
Yeah, I agree.
For me.
That's why I stopped going. It just turned all nasty, and I just didn't.
Yeah, just
I
and
found
stupidity.
Spurs fans didn't go over the top. Even one of the Spurs fans, they were 2-0 up, and they went, "Nah, I ain't saying anything yet. I've seen what Spurs are like. They're botlet. They could still lose from this position."
Well, I watched it with my Spurs mate, so he was pleased at the end. And the box of tissues I took with me for him to wipe his tears with, I had to take back.
I didn't wonder what you were going to talk about there.
Well, no,
What
obviously.
you and your Spurs mate get up to.
Yeah, get up to in our own tissues. Yeah, that's our business. Yeah, that's right. But I just.
What really hurts?
We lost.
Right?
I move on
Yeah,
because
what really
it is
hurts
another game.
And we're going to come to lead now. is we drop down to 7th. Spurs go above us on 51 points, 3 ahead of us with a game in hand. Man United 2 points above us with a game in hand. You know, it's sort of looking like that top 6 is slipping away from us.
I have a little bit of faith.
Well, I hope.
I think we're still.
Let's talk
It's a
about
tough
it.
gig, isn't it?
Was it one of those defining moments where our lack of plan B, our lack of.
But he did plan B. He played 3-5-2.
Well, yeah, and it didn't work like you said it didn't before. But we've got
ain't
no
a lack of
Bowen.
plan
I
B
think
then,
we're
is it?
starting to miss Bowen now. I mean, I'll give you an update
But Sean,
now. But
in the spirit of, you know, you want to be there, living in the now, enjoying the moment. You got to. What you're saying is to get top 6, which would be great, is to be in a position where we are now, which is to be in the Europa League, and we're there now. So don't be too downhearted about
yeah,
it.
but I just like to finish 6.
Yeah,
I don't want
well,
5th
I'd like to
or
finish
4th or
fucking
3rd. I'm not
fifth.
greedy.
I'd like to finish first, Sean, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're not going to happen, is it? Because they're on 70 points and we're on 48.
Well, we live in hope.
Yeah.
Right?
We're hoping at
We've
an
got-
86, Sean.
Just
weren't
to be
we?
clear, we've got 8 games left.
Yeah, that's 24
Go on,
points.
you can do it.
24
That's it.
points.
That's it.
Now, of course, Chelsea, if they go into administration, could be docked.
What? That ain't happening, is it?
Well, it could do because what Abramovich has said.
Oh,
is,
he's West Bromovich.
You know
now, is
what?
he?
Abramovich has said he will he may block, or according to reports, he may block any sale to any country who has had sanctions on Russia. If that's true, it was in Daily Mail, so it must be
Do you know
true.
what, Sean?
They would go into administration, and therefore they would be docked 9 points. I mean, that still puts them on 50.
I
Same
think
as still ahead
that
of
that
us,
was
but-
any administration. I think it'll be next season now, because I think what it is, you got for the time to appeal, it wouldn't work out. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's got to happen
well,
before
it
the
still
end of
doesn't help
January.
us. They're still 11 points ahead of us, so and obviously we're going to play them anyway. What did you take away from the game then, quickly, or anything?
Well, I thought that would be. I got my results the wrong way around when I've done the predictions. I thought we'd get picked off against Seville and we'd bounce back against Tottenham.
We did it.
I
the other
was
way
wrong.
round. And look, and
I wasn't paying particular attention
if
to it.
I asked you, and I think we said this, which game would you want to win? Forget we know the results now.
I don't
Seville
know,
or Spurs?
It's, again, a classic question is that you have to pick a result. It's not like that, is it?
Well, it is though, because you could say we looked very
Well,
leggy in the second
Seville,
half.
because what you else
Of course you have, yeah. I
Like
agree.
I'm saying, otherwise you want to get, you know, you
But
want
it
the
means a
points
lot.
to
The
qualify.
Spurs, the London derby, top 6 place. You could argue more realistic, but I agree with you. Seville all day long.
Yeah, but because cup football's about glory, league is about position, and this
Yeah.
is the thing. You want to finish 6. I'd rather win the Europa Cup.
Yeah, well, and then goes to the
Yeah.
Champions League. Absolutely.
Well, no,
Anyway.
so and that's the thing. I
No,
don't
we
want to
wanna
win the
win the
Europa
cup.
Cup
You
because
wanna
of
see-
Champions League. Oh, yeah,
You
we
wanna
want
get
to
a
win the
cup.
cup because we want the glory. You know,
Yeah.
footballers. What do footballers want to do? Do they want to finish 5th or do they want to win medals?
With medals.
Right.
Do you know
then.
what?
And when football finally realised that what footballers want, or what fans want, happen to be the same. So if
Yeah.
clubs like West Ham run themselves on that mantra, things may be better, and our best players may not be. You know,
Right.
Crystal Palace in their second
Well,
semi-final
The good news after the
since
Seville
2016.
game is the conversation, the interview with Declan Rice sort of showed it was going nowhere. Certainly the way he was, he was talking so great about the club and what they've achieved and everything. He didn't look like someone who's leaving in the summer.
Good.
Well, do you know, people keep reading too much into what he says after every interview. Because
Yeah,
a week ago, he's definitely off.
Yeah.
You know, he walks along some crappy street in Kingston upon Thames, and he's talking to Gary Neville. Oh, he's a man. He's definitely leaving. You know, every interview he's leaving because the boy shows ambition. Ambition that if West Ham fans are realistic, we cannot match. Yeah, but it depends. You got to sell yourself a different way to Declan then.
Yeah.
And you got to show him the Bobby Moores and the Billy Bonzes and the Trevor Brookings, look what they achieved while they played for the club, and say, you could be that man in 25 years' time. That could be you, Billy Bond, the Declan Rice stand.
Yeah.
That could be you. Don't be... Oh, I nearly said something that I shouldn't. Don't be one of them players. Yeah, there's a reason I stopped. I'll tell you up there. Don't be those players that were stars of the club that left to seek their fortune elsewhere. Don't be one of them. Stay and be the hero, and you'll have more damn fun than you will. And if he don't go to Chelsea because of Abramovich, everything, then at last the war's done some good.
Good. Right, anyway, moving on. They're the games. Injury update. Obviously only Bowen out. It's not looking good. Athletic are following up. You know, we talked about a chipped bone. It is looking like he's got a fracture now. The swelling's gone down. And he's facing an uphill struggle to be fit by the Lyon game. So I'd be very surprised if he's ready. Obviously we're international break now. I'd be very surprised if he's ready for the Everton game, and you know, he faces a struggle to be fit for the Lyon game, they're saying. It's a shame, you know. I think we missed him on Sunday. It is what it is. Maybe Antonio comes back. News from you. You want to talk about Button Monkey and John?
Well, yeah, the two. Here's a bit of a funny story. This. So, John Ratomski from Iron Sporting Food Banks and the Button Monkey himself, DJ Russie B from the West Ham DJ booth, set off on a charity walk on Saturday to raise money for the Easter egg appeal for Newham's kids. Walked from the Bobby Moore statue at Wembley to the Bobby Moore statue at the London Stadium, and then finished at the Bobby Moore statue at Upton Park. I hoped to walk the last bit of the route with them. John sent me the route. I walked along the route and then discovered John had took the shortcut, in my opinion. But still, I suppose after 16.5 miles, the man's entitled to take a shortcut. To the
well, maybe it was for security reasons, because he had a son.
Well,
hold up.
Sorry, so anyway, well, no, because it would have been a lot more secure walking along the Greenway than he would have done walking along Portway and down Green Street. Because I walked all the way to West Ham Station to meet him with my dog and my father-in-law, before I found out John had took a shortcut up Portway, and there was heading towards Green Street that way. So then I had to walk all the way back to Barking Road and up the Barking Road. But at 5 to 5, I spotted Russ in the distance in front of John and the young boy with John, who I sort of semi-recognised. And you know, there was Sikh drummers to welcome them. There was people from Newham community there to welcome them. They got a good cheer. A lot of people were a bit bemused by what had gone on, these three people, but they managed to walk and finished it. And I've got the figure here. I think he raised over £12,000 for the walk. £12,300
lost in walking that way?
Well, then you should try it then, shouldn't you? Yeah, instead of digging him out over the wall. Let's see you walk it, yeah?
I walked 6 miles on
anyway,
on Saturday.
well, yeah, but he did
over
17,
hills,
didn't he?
Not this flat stuff. I walked over Norbury Park, over the South
Well,
Downs.
there's a few hills. They probably had to walk over the sewer. I don't know, actually, they avoided the sewer hill. But anyway, they managed it, and then I'm standing there, people congratulating John, and I'm talking to the young boy, and he said, like, he's walked all the way. I went, oh, you done well then, and he looked pretty fit anyway. You know when you think, I know that face, but I don't know where it is. And then about 15 minutes later, he went off with Russie B into the bowling to have a drink, a well-earned drink, and I stood to talk to John. And then John starts telling me about how Dave, the young boy, had been ringing his mates up, walked all the way, met them at Wembley. I don't know if they knew he was going to do it. And was ringing his mates up and got his dad to chip in. And I thought, wasn't that nice of him? And I went, where do I know him from? And Dave went, it's Dave Sullivan Jr. I was like, oh, I'm glad I was polite to him then.
Did he walk the whole way?
Yes, he walked all the way. He met him at Wembley.
Like a body double or
no.
Did he have a bodyguard with him?
No. Well, John Ratomski is his bodyguard. So, you know, look, people slag him
No.
off and knock him, including you, Sean, on
Look, no,
WhatsApp.
fair play. Look, Russ walked 27 miles. I know his heart rate did get up to
17.
17. I know his heart rate did get up to 135. I was worried he was going to have a heart attack, but well done. You know, I'm not sure I could. Well, I can walk 6 miles up the hills, but 17 miles.
It's
I
a long,
would
it's a
struggle.
long way, and they didn't really stop, from what I can gather. But anyway, it was done to raise the money. So as I say, they raised £12,300, and with the extra cash left over from distribution, they said they're going to buy like loads of food for the local food bank as well.
Oh, good. Good.
So well done. And John wants to say thanks to everyone that donated, because he knows that loads of people did donate that followed it on Twitter and, you know, various posts on
any
various
other
West Ham
news?
websites. Not that I know of, no.
Len,
Oh.
you had a little bit of news. You were painting your Yarmolenko and
Yeah.
put that up for auction.
Yeah,
That
so
went well,
did.
didn't it?
Do you want to
did
tell
go
the
well.
story? Do you want to tell the whole story or not? I don't know. Can you tell the whole story that you were talking to me earlier off air?
Might as well, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Well, I sold it on eBay, and the last 3 bidders never had the money to pay for it, which is quite funny.
Go
Um,
on,
But
what,
yeah,
what
the
was
top
the
3
main one
bidders.
give excuse? What was his excuse? We won't
One,
name
he
him.
said he got drunk, which is an amazing phenomenon, because, I mean, I know I don't drink lately, but one of the symptoms from drinking didn't make me feel richer than I actually was. I thought, you know, I thought I
and
could
the other
bid
two
for
just
painting.
ghosted you, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
But lucky enough,
I still got good money of it. Yeah,
the fourth largest bidder did pay
Yeah.
up, and it wasn't
Yep.
far off what the
no,
other 3
yeah. They all just
charlatans bid.
yeah. The 3 frauds. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are massive. Them
Yeah.
3.
But you know, it shows it was a decent price, and it shows. I think Nigel's word. It shows the emotion of the whole Yarmolenko and
Yeah.
Ukraine and everything else.
And now someone like me profits on it.
Well, that's
Like
up to
I've done
you,
all
'cause
my life.
I was just leaving it so people might think, yeah, I'm sure he donated some of the proceeds to Ukraine.
Well, I haven't
war.
received the money yet, so I couldn't possibly comment.
Yeah.
However,
I think you said
if,
you wanted
know,
to sell it to get some paint, was what you said when you were on Twitter. I'm selling it to buy more paint.
But if you are one of them people, you know, who wants to mark the wonderful occasion of what was Thursday night, you can buy a print now.
Oh,
CannytownLend.com. Evening Woody, if you're listening, you can go there and you buy your own print. Only
Yeah.
A4 though, because it's a small portrait.
Right, George, is there any news you want to share? You know, any pensions you want to talk about, or shall we move on to question time?
No, you can move on.
Okay, time for this.
Hold up.
Go on.
Well, we had an away day.
Oh, yeah. Doddy's away down
Well,
round
usually
up.
you forget about it.
Easy
What you usually say, and I quote, what you usually say is, it's on the website. It's on.
No, actually, when there's 2 away games, I say I put the first one on the website and I read the second one. If
Dodsy's away day roundup.
right, my handsomes, how you's doing? It's Dodsy's away day roundup. That's it. He said I treated myself to a little bit of luxury, and he got first-class train travel out of working class now, Liv, so I could enjoy the Spuds game. He said it was all organised courtesy.
Oh, we've lost him.
Oh no,
Oh.
timing.
Timing. It's all about timing. I don't know why we've been losing. I don't know if this is a clean feed issue, but we've been losing people over the last few weeks.
Dodsy's away day. I met Dodsy. Hello,
You
Dodsy.
did,
I'm sure
yeah.
you're listening. Nice
You
to meet
didn't
you.
mention that, yeah. Fanboy.
Yeah.
Let's see if he works out or he's still carrying on talking. If he hasn't refreshed, we're gonna do this. Yeah. So we're never here at the end of Dodsy Away Day Ramble because we've lost We've lost. Oh, he's back. Are you back,
Back is he?
Nigel?
Let's just pretend we've heard it.
Yeah, that's all right. That was really good.
That was brilliant.
Surely good
Yeah.
show.
Oh,
Very
well
good
done,
go.
mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Boring.
Sounds like a great away. Sounds like a great away day.
That was really good.
Boring.
So, can you do the Facebook? Because you know that he can't read Facebook on his new phone.
Can I do the Facebook? Yes,
Yeah.
I can do the Facebook. 1 second. All comments. Here we go. Sean Dugan. I'm going to start. Yeah, I'll start there. Sean Dugan says, "Evening, chaps. What a performance against Seville it was, wasn't it?
He was.
Can't remember a better
was.
team performance in recent memory. Amazing painting of Yarmo, Antonio, and Soucek by Len too, by the way. You like that?
Thank you. I've just put the link up on the question times. And you'll see it again soon.
Spuds defeat expected but annoying. The international break has come at the right time for players to recuperate. Could a 5th or 6th place finish and Europa League semi-final or final be enough to keep Deck for another season? Brady out.
Brady out.
Brady out. For me, no. I think we need to win Europa League for Deck to stay. I think he'll want to play the Champions League next season, and I probably wouldn't begrudge him the chance to do that. What do you think,
Yeah.
lads?
I don't begrudge him when he's ready to leave. But
No, but will a 5th or 6th place finish and Europa League semi-final or
No.
final be enough to keep him?
Champions League. Let's go for the broke. Champions League.
Nigel apparently is here. We've seen
Yeah, we can't hear him, so he's using disgusting, obscene language. So I'm not. We don't put up with that. I mean, I know we've got explicit, but there's no. need to talk.
Ian Wiley says, "Hi lads, absolutely love Thursday's game. The atmosphere was unbelievable from start to finish. A fantastic result. Onwards we march. Hopefully many more nights like that to come." Yeah, it's true, Ian. No question from
It was
Ian.
magical.
No Brady out.
He didn't say radio, no. Although Grant Croxford does. He says, "Evening, chaps. What is the number
Good.
one quality you admire in each of your fellow podcast members?" Brady out.
Brady out.
What was the number one quality I admire in each of the podcasts? The number one quality I...
Oh, we're having real problems tonight. We've lost George now. Ah, dearie me. George.
I'm back.
All right, good.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said?
No,
No.
what?
The number one quality I admire in Len is his consistency.
Yeah.
Week in, week out, he has the same opinions. Very rarely changes his mind. He sticks to his guns. I
Yeah,
admire
thank you
that.
very much.
Sean, what do I admire about you? I might have to come back to that.
Yeah.
There's a point
But-
where I used to be your best mate, George.
I know, those were the days.
Yeah.
I was
when you were
explaining
4.
that to Arnie. He was like,
Oh,
"How
were
do you
you?
know Sean?" I was like, "Well, what about me?" Or Len, what do you admire about Sean?
Did you get that? I
He's,
cut off.
It's broken up. It's broken up.
Jason Backhouse says, "Evening, gents. What's the real story on Bowen's injury? Hearing you could be out for both legs of the Lyon game. Sean, any
Yeah,
intel?"
well, yeah. I mean, we heard a chip on his bone, and now Athletic are saying today a fracture. It's not looking good. We just don't know, but it could be a lot longer than the international break, I'm afraid.
So no one knows. Is that what we're saying?
No one knows. No. We're gonna it's a wait and see.
It is a bit of a concern, isn't it? Because usually, even like the worst of injuries are diagnosed on the.
Yeah, but it
Sooner than
does look
suspect.
like some kind of fracture or chip and they're hard ones.
Paul Sanders says, "Evening, gents. Evening, Paul. Having watched Barcelona beat Madrid 5-0 yesterday, would you prefer to be knocked out by them in the semi or have a chance of beating Leipzig to progress to the final? Personally, I'd love to see Barca at the Thunderdome." I would rather be knocked out by Barca in the semis. Let's get to the semis.
Yeah. A little
Well,
day
no,
at Nou Camp.
was he saying beat Leipzig to get? Well,
Yo!
All
There
right,
he is.
you're
Here
back.
he is.
All right, don't shout.
Fuck, so I've been fucking here
Right,
ages.
shh. Let me just turn you down because you're hurting everybody's ears.
Good.
I'm alright.
Right, just because you
I've
can't
been
work
here
the
fucking
technology.
10 minutes. It ain't my fucking technology. It's this bollocks clean feed. It's
Alright,
never fucking
okay.
worked from day one.
All right, Len, calm down. Sorry, Nigel.
Well, I haven't said anything.
I know. If there's one thing I admire about you, it's the way you just go off on one every podcast. But this
Nigel,
week,
what's the one thing you admire about Sean?
There ain't fuck all I admire about him at the moment.
yeah, I've managed to wind him up. He's a bit tetchy.
No, because I was fucking talking away.
We
and then,
couldn't hear you.
No, but I fucking refreshed it about 1,000 times, and I was texting you.
I've told
it
you a
weren't
million
my. I
times.
don't think it was my
Do
end.
not exaggerate. Well, funny enough, you came in on a different link and suddenly it works.
Yes, so
Isn't
I
that
was
surprising?
on the link. No, because I kept
Use the
refreshing and
trouble.
refreshing.
All right.
Boring.
Let's move on.
That soundbite's boring. Even though it's Homer Simpson. Very
Nick Harvey says,
down-sampled.
"Hey up, gentlemen, Brady out."
Brady, yeah, I bet Nick's happy with his price now. Ho, ho, ho.
Nick, who had his question read out on a proper fucking podcast.
Did he? Which one?
Yeah. Price of football.
Nice.
Did you listen to Price of Football this week
I listened to
I
it
don't
every week.
listen.
with the CEO of Millwall
That was last week, Sean.
last
Keep
week?
up.
All right.
Yes, I did.
It was interesting,
Yes, it was.
but it's not a Millwall podcast. So we won't talk about it.
Well, why
Sevilla.
mention it then?
Sevilla, well. Probably the best team performance I've seen in the last 40 years, Nick says. A very mature performance. Each of the boys were outstanding, as was Moyes of his tactics. With Leon next, I don't see why we shouldn't be getting ready for a trip to the Camp Nou for the semis. Their cup final was always going to be a tough ask
Weren't
after
their cup
Thursday
final?
night. Masuaka for disappointed as I don't think that lot played particularly well except for the two up front. True. Question, was Sean right all along about Yarmolenko?
Yes, I was right about Yarmolenko. We're really struggling today. We've lost George again.
Yeah, it's good this, isn't it? Great.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Was Sean
Well,
right
keep
all along about
chatting.
Yarmolenko? On second thoughts, don't answer that, Nick says. Don't know if you got that bit. So we
No,
won't
we
answer
weren't.
Nick, don't
I
worry.
was right.
Oh, he
I
answered
was
it.
right.
He
about
answered it.
Yarmolenko. Yeah.
His real question is, was Thursday night the time when the Olympic Stadium finally starts to become our
Yes.
home?
Yes.
Brady
No.
out.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no.
Discuss. Sean, why is it yes?
Because
Why was
it's
it that game?
games like Thursday night that the Olympic Stadium was rebuilt for.
No,
It was
you got that for valving. No, what do
Rebuilt
you
for.
think?
Rebuilt for. Not built for, because it was built for the Olympics. Rebuilt
Yeah.
for. It is those kind of games that a big stadium of 60,000 was built for. Right? Just imagine if we'd have played that at Upton Park,
No.
25,000 people would have been disappointed.
Bollocks.
How
Shut
shut
Yeah.
up, 25,000.
Well, it is 25,000. It held 35,000. We had 60,000 there. It's simple maths.
So what?
So what? Well, you didn't bother going, but for other people,
Well, there you go then.
George
That's
wouldn't have been
whatever
able
I'd
to
say.
go. One of the best nights of his life.
No,
Well,
no,
actually,
no.
George would have been there because they wouldn't have sacked off their season tickets because the experience was so shit. If it would have
Yeah.
been at the Upton Park, George
Very
and
true.
John would have been there. Along with the other
Yeah, there you
thousands
go.
of fans that hadn't fucking walked away. The same
Good
thousands
point,
of
Nigel,
fans
good point.
that bankrolled this club while Gold and Sullivan were pissing their money off at Birmingham City building a shit-ass stadium that's now falling down.
Boring.
You've
So
been
just
done,
because you
Sean.
control the button,
You couldn't
yeah,
explain
don't
it.
change
and
the fact.
Boring.
Come on, let's get past the whole stadium. thing.
Samuel
We won.
Thomas Harris says, "Evening chaps, Moyes has done a fantastic job, yet some still unbelievably moan. Who in the world would do a better job with the budget we have? Brady out."
Brady out.
I don't think it's a budget issue, but I agree. No need to moan. He's done a fantastic
About the stadium
job.
or the manager or the
No,
players?
he's talking about Moyes here.
Oh, right.
Matthew Kemp says, evening gents, great night Thursday, miserable Sunday. Thinking ahead to the summer, there can't be any excuses re-adding to this squad yet. Realistically, how many players will we bring in? It's not a case of not doing it, we have to. I would like to think we have identified some strikers by now.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
You'd hope so, but realistically, Matthew, I think we're bringing in probably 3 players. No less, no more. 3. It's my prediction.
It's a magic number.
I have
3.
no basis as to why that is my prediction. That's just my prediction. Elliot Smith says, with ball boys helping get the ball back in play quickly on Thursday, it was a breath of fresh air after Villa's antics.
Yeah, fall down.
The average time of ball in play in the Premier League is 54 minutes. Wow. Does the radical idea of 2 30-minute halves with an independent clock stopping whenever the ball is not in play have any merit?
I like the sound of
In
that.
theory, we'd see more football and no time wasting. Is that
Yeah,
the win-win it seems to be?
I
No,
like the sound of that.
no.
Nigel
I
says
would.
no.
I'll tell you what I'd have. 2 45-minute halves, yeah, where the clock stops. So I have 45 minutes per half for football, not 30 minutes per half for football,
Yeah.
with the clock stopping. Football's a
Then you get
90-minute
90
game.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
yeah,
what
that
I
is
want.
true. You don't. Yeah, and then now you come to mention that. I don't want to ruin the integrity. Mind you, they do a good job of themselves with the handball rule and stuff like
Yeah.
that, don't they?
I swear 20
Anyway,
years
nothing's
ago
gonna
it was
change.
64 minutes of average play, and I thought that was bad. The one thing I did notice, I don't know if it's a Premier League ruling, but we don't throw the ball boys have to get the ball that's gone out back into play. They don't, in the Premier League, they don't have balls at their feet. Where in Europa League, they all had balls at their feet.
Oh, that is interesting.
I don't know if that was a West Ham thing,
Cool story,
tactical,
I feel
or
like it
whether
is.
it's a Premier League thing, because that's why the it's not done in the Premier League. The ball boys there are to run after the ball that's being kicked off and throw it back into play. So there's only
Did
one
you see
ball.
Noble kick a ball into the crowd, and then the referee went, and he went, "Oh, someone's injured," and he pointed it on the ground. Did you see that?
No. Simon Pope. Actually, firstly, Ed Hughes asked Sean, "Is this about you?"
That
And
was
he
a bit of
posts-
screw.
He posts a screen grab from the Fesshole Twitter account. I don't know if anyone follows Fesshole.
No.
It's where people put up anonymous confessions.
Go on.
My husband has started a football podcast with his friends, and now he thinks he's a celebrity. It's awful. I cringe every time.
No.
It's not about Sean because he's not married, but the rest is true.
Well, I'm married, but
Well,
I thought you was
So-
divorced.
You're living with.
no, I'm waiting for me.
Yeah, he's divorced as well.
Absolute. I've
Oh,
only been waiting 7 years for it.
I was
That's
going to
another
say, it's
story.
only been a while. Simon Pope says, evening gents, not posted for a while, so realistically, where do we think we can finish after losing to the Spuds? 7th.
7th, yeah.
5th.
All right.
Well,
I'd
we
love
can,
that.
yeah, but we can finish first, probably. But.
No, realistically,
You said where can
5th.
we? Where will we?
No,
Nigel?
realistically was the answer. Realistically. Go read Simon's question again.
So you think, realistically, we're going to finish 5th, Nigel?
Hold up. I think there's a realistic chance that we can finish 5th with 8 games to go.
Fair enough. Will this Bowen situation cause us more problems? How could
Yeah.
they miss a broken body part? Surely an X-ray would have shown this up sooner.
Well, I think Len brought this up. You can't properly do a scan while the swelling. You've got to wait for the
I
swelling to go
never.
down.
I never. Weren't me mentioning that. Brought it up.
Well, someone
I
brought
wouldn't
that
know
up
that
last week.
fucking toffee.
Well, someone brought that up last week. Whoever it was
Sounds
right.
like a Nigel thing.
Is that your reason for the excuse, Sean, why they can't scan you properly? Because of all the swelling?
Ah,
Oh, I've really upset you this week, haven't I?
just because he goes to work now.
Just because you're a little bit working class and non-corporate about the start time of this podcast, you know, I just want an exact time. I don't want any issues. Don't want any ranges of times. I
Well,
wanna know when we
unfortunately,
start.
the M25 don't run to a timetable. It runs to an ish. Yeah?
Well, it doesn't, does it? You know, in corporate land, we don't do this. We start a meeting at a time, we have a duration, and we finish. That's how we do it in corporate land.
Everton after the international break for me is a must-win game to keep the pressure on those above us. If we don't get the top 6, it will take a bit of a shine off what has been an amazing season so far. Looking forward to the Lyon game. Keep up the good work. Brady out as per yours, the Pontiff. We've got a couple of new ones in because I just refreshed. East Chippy Hammers says, evening one and all. Time to regroup and take a deep breath after an amazing night against Seville. Lots of doom and gloom about our performance against the Spuds. Nigel, if Antonio had put away those 2 golden opportunities he's had, seems to have most weeks, we may well have been celebrating another 3 points with no mention of tired legs. Why was no one man marking Son? Youth coaching 101 and Len, Brady out.
Brady out.
Jonathan Lowe says, dearly beloved, not much time for questions tonight as I'm meeting with a wedding couple. I've been meaning to say for a few weeks now how amazed I've been at Craig Dawson's passing skills. His long crossfield pass is a delight to watch. His ability to get in the way is superb. What a bargain, eh?
He was.
Blessings, Jonathan.
Talking of a bargain, Jonathan bought a print of what I just put up there, live on air. How about that?
Wow, nice. Nice one, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan, of the Yarmolenko print.
Blessings.
Blessings, Jonathan.
Samuel Thomas Harris, Sam, says, evening chaps, Moyes has done a fantastic job, yet some still unbelievably moan. I've already read that one.
Come on, you only have one job.
Well, the people just keep sending them in.
It's popular.
Non-stop. Elliot Smith, with the same 20 people, but yeah. Elliot Smith, with the ball boys helping get the ball back in play, read that one.
Read that.
Steve Lines, I don't think I've read this one.
Cheeky Lines.
God, look at the length of this comment.
Get the IPTV, Cheeky. Get in touch with Woody.
Woody Box.
And sort him out. I gave him the details yesterday, so...
He says, what a great result against Sevilla. The performance was something else to treasure. Everyone put in a shift that night. It felt to me more like winning a cup final. Waking up in the morning and seeing literally everywhere plastered with claret and blue was something to behold. A tough draw in the next round, but a part of me is quietly confident that we can do it. And I say, they didn't drag that draw out. I've never bothered to watch these draws for Europe. Is that what normally happens? Yes, all the time. They are so long. As for yesterday, an expected result considering the effort the team put in on Thursday. His question. Various social media fans are putting up this picture attached saying toxic fans, etc. It made me think that the new age fan is just a big girl's blouse getting upset over something as funny as that. Let's be honest, if that was our fans giving it to an opposition player, we'd all be in hysterics. Why do people overreact to things like this in football these days? And it is the
social
picture of
media
the cat and the Kurt Zuma cat sign.
Well, I saw there was what was it? Zoomed in. Zuma shags cats, which is actually wrong. He doesn't shag cats. He kicks them.
Quite the opposite, really, isn't it?
I did see they booed him.
Did they do the test on that then, the OSPCA?
I'm sure they did.
You reckon?
Yeah. Well, they do a full physical, you know. They want to make sure there's been no funny business with the animals, I'm sure. I think it would be standard procedure.
Do you know what? I did tweet it, and I'll say it again.
Go on.
Zuma kicked the cat harder than he kicked that ball at Son when Sam went down.
He did.
What a joke.
Yeah.
You know, poor old Zuma. I mean, and Tottenham, I thought, someone did tweet out that while West Ham fans were bothered about Sevilla, all Tottenham fans were worried about is what song about Zuma they were going to sing.
Yeah.
Shall I do, actually? There were some good ones. Did you want to hear some of the good ones? Do the next question, George, and I'll dig it out.
Dave Jones.
Put 3 up.
Dave Jones says, evening all, a pretty good week to be West Ham fan
Stardust.
despite the loss to Spurs. I must have some of Sean's luck. I got a Spurs ticket in the ballot and it made a change to watch football from row 9 instead of 65. I don't really care about the result as following 120 minutes of football it was always going to be tough. Question, do you think the atmosphere at the London Stadium at the Seville game is a turning point for the stadium critics? Brady out.
Brady out.
Well,
I didn't hear any of the question.
Well, he didn't hear any of the question. I think everyone's gone, so it would be for me to answer. Yeah, I think it's a complete turning point, and now the stadium's our home, and
Shut the
no one
fuck
will
up.
remember
No one's bothered.
Upton Park anymore. Sorry, you disappeared.
Boring.
Yeah, I don't know
Sorry,
what's
Aaron.
going on. I wouldn't mind. I'm wired.
Boring.
I'm plugged in here. I don't know what's going on.
Ted Sexton says, good news, Mike Dean is retiring. There is a God. He is retiring. Alan Woodhouse says, would you rather finish Europa League runners-up this year or qualify for it next year? Oh, do Europa League runners-up get in it again?
In the final. That means we're in the final.
I would rather
Take the
finish runners-up. Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to be
me
in the
too.
final.
And lose.
And that is Facebook to the question time. So,
Hey.
Nigel, do you want to sing a few Zoomer songs?
Well, that because obviously it ain't Facebook, Twitter question time over, is it?
Because we ran
I
out
haven't
the
looked
Facebook one.
I haven't looked at Twitter yet.
Yeah, see, Mark Reaper, who we call Kevin, said, was last week a demonstration of the best and worst of David Moyes. Brilliant win, Seville, but his dependence on the same players cost us against Spurs. Brady out forever.
Brady out forever.
And then there was another one, because it's the same people every week. Oh, Dan, 31, 60, 43, 44H. said, what does yesterday
That's
say?
4H is 4 hours.
Yeah, I know. But if you listen every week, George, you
I don't.
realise that, no, I know that it actually does change, that last bit. Sometimes it's 6H. Depends on when Dan wants to tweet me his question. What does yesterday say for the likes of Diop, Noble, Fredericks and Vlasic? Heavily fatigued side from Thursday, and they still can't get a start. Easy to say after the event, but should more changes have been made?
He's sometimes reluctant, isn't he?
He's very reluctant. I don't think it's telling those players anything they don't already know. I think they know they are the reserves, but I don't actually think they're good enough. I mean, really, Noble and Vlasic probably. Noble still does a job. Diop and Fredericks I don't think are good enough
about
for
Yarmolenko?
this level. Well, Yarmolenko got on, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Vlasic did as well.
Yeah, he did.
But I don't think there's any surprise to those players. The fact that they
Okay.
are off the bench.
Quickly do your 3 songs and then we'll do predictions.
Okay. In at 3, we've got Abby Ludlow with Sweet Caroline. Meow, meow, meow. There was that one. Up to number 2, it's Tommy B. Says, where's your pussy cat? Whoa, whoa, Zuma. Where's your pussy cat? Whoa, whoa, Zuma. And number 1, I did think was funny. And actually, I'd like to sing this at the stadium. He says, I'm forever kicking Tabby, little Tabby in the air. She flies so high, she touched the sky. But when the cops came, I said bye-bye. Now they want to charge me. Sponsorships run dry. Why did I ever kick that Tabby? Little Tabby in the air.
Surely in the sky would have been better.
It would
Zuma.
have been better. Than
Well,
Spurs.
I did think that last one.
Bless
if we
them.
just work on the last thing. I think that's a cracking song. Well done to Ends in 1. There you go.
Now, are we doing predictions? Are you back next week? I'm away. I'm in New York. Well, actually, I'm in Philadelphia. next month.
What's
Oh, yeah,
the
you're
prediction?
gonna-
Is Sean going to put weight on and how much?
You're gonna hang outside and play some b-balls outside the school.
Yeah, well, you did say that. I still don't know what that means, but I'm in New York from Wednesday onwards, and then
Philadelphia.
on Sunday I'm in Philadelphia. So
He's gonna
I
hang out and play some b-ball outside the school.
I won't be on the podcast next week. I don't know whether you're going to be bothered to record or not. But let's do predictions in case you don't, because let's be honest, you ain't.
Because we've never podcast without you, have we?
Well, you're just not very organised. September. Everton. Why did I say September?
What?
September.
It's a random word.
We
What are you doing? Getting your playlist ready.
Well, you said Beebles, which is a
Get your
random
Earth,
word.
Wind and Fire album.
Yeah, Everton.
Yes.
What about it?
2-0 win.
Okay. That's at home,
I
isn't
mean,
it?
that's in a while,
It is.
isn't it?
Yeah, we've got an international
You
break.
say that, it's not though, is it? It's only it's 2 weeks. It's crazy. Yeah? It's Sunday,
Oh, yes.
2nd of April.
Ooh,
So
maybe you could come again and be on a roll, George.
No, that'll be me
3rd of April is. And then obviously a few
3rd of
days
April.
later.
Another game that don't kick off on a Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Saturday 3 o'clock games
Go on,
we've
you
had
looked
at home?
this.
Do you know how many we've had?
this season.
Yeah, guess. How many Saturday 3 o'clock games do you think we've had at home?
1.
Any other guesses?
2.
Any more?
Nope.
No.
No. All right. Well, George was right. 1.
Yes.
That's it. 1. One Saturday,
they'll get a
3
prize.
o'clock.
Yeah, what's the price?
Smug satisfaction.
Yes.
Is it only 1?
1.
It's
Just,
the
I
cost
can
of
tell you when
success,
it is.
chaps. It's the cost of success.
I can tell you what game it was, and that is Crystal Palace in August.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
Anyway, yes, let's have your prediction then.
We've had 22 games on TV as well, just in the Premier League alone.
Wow. That's worth
That's
it.
unbelievable. Is Everton
Yeah.
on the telly?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's a shame. I want to go to the shithole.
Yeah.
2 o'clock
yeah.
as
go
well,
on.
isn't it?
Can I just have your
2 o'clock,
prediction,
yeah.
please?
Oh, I fucking hate that.
Prediction. I think we'll win 3-0. I think they are
Ooh.
shockingly poor.
From Fat
I
Frank.
said 3-0 and I got cut off.
And all right, so
sorry.
you said 3-0 as well. I'll go
You're
for
gonna
a
go for
1-0
1 now.
win
Yeah.
since it's left. That means we're all predicting a win. Frank's misery carries on. I've been
Let's
sure.
hope so.
George has been.
George till the end.
Oh,
Wow.
bit of forward planning, people.
Yeah.
We got Man City, our last home game. Yeah? On the 15th.
Uh-oh.
Not if they're in the FA Cup final, though.
Right.
So then what happens?
Well,
It'll
yeah.
be midweek, won't it?
To be confirmed. I'd imagine that they'd have to play it, yeah. Well, just to confuse it, and this is the thing, it might because in between the Man City game, which if they're in the cup final we won't play, but if we're in the UEFA Cup final,
Oh, we've lost him. We never know
Yeah,
what he was going to say at the end.
In between the Man City game.
But anyway, I have said, I've Sean. George has been. You can say it again.
George here to the end. Just.
Nigel has been,
trying to drag it out with his bad internet.
and Len has been.
Cutting in and out by the sound of it.
Sean, can I just point out, I think it's you. I think it's your internet.
No,
Everybody,
Might be.
I have got.
why has everybody been dropping off?
I think there's a problem with CleanFeed. I think they've had problems with their servers. My internet is like 500 meg down.
Sean, in the business world, this doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know.
In the corporate world.
Len, say goodbye.
Yes. Goodbye.
Come on, you irons.
Bobby Moore, more than just a podcast. Bobby Moore, more than just a podcast.
That's all, folks.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good,
It
though.
could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!
Boring.